green list. Here are the top 5 moves I absolutely believe should happen in the NFL this off-season, and we begin at number 5. You know what they say about how the grass is not always greener? You know who knows that better than anyone? Davante Adams. He decided to leave Aaron Rodgers, and look how it's worked out. All he's done is lose. The Jets are in desperation mode. They can trade absolutely anything in their future because they're going to get fired if they don't win it all this year. Reunite Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. The Jets should trade for Davante from the Raiders. At number 4, another receiver who I think needs a change of scenery. Stephon Diggs, it is clearly over in Buffalo. I don't know why, but it is. So why not reunite him or unite him with his brother in Dallas? The Cowboys desperately need a player who can do exactly what Stephon Diggs can do. I don't know that he's a number 1 receiver anymore, even though people keep trying to tell me that he is. They have one in C.D. Lamb. He could be the missing piece to an offense that needs to take another step late in the season. Number 3, we've talked about Justin Fields already this morning. I would like to see Justin Fields in Pittsburgh. I know the world has him in Atlanta, and there might be a lot of sense to be made in that as well. But I'd like to see Mike Tomlin with that quarterback, with that opportunity finally to silence all of the critics, and there are a lot of them locally, about what this team can do, about what he can do. You put Justin Fields on the Steelers, I think they're a Super Bowl candidate. Number 2, I believe the Raiders desperately need to move up to draft a quarterback. They are not in a position right now where they could go up and get one of the quote-unquote big 3 in this draft. Are they willing to be that aggressive? Maybe. If they're not willing to be that aggressive, maybe they move up just a few spots to make sure they get their choice of J.J. McCarthy or Bo Nix or any of the next collection of quarterbacks. And the reason I don't think they can is because at my number 1, and I believe this is a real possibility, I'd like to see the New York Giants make an aggressive move up to number 3, trading with New England and taking Drake May. I believe May will be the quarterback who is available at number 3. I think Caleb Williams goes 1. I think Jaden Daniels goes 2. Who does Drake May remind you at least a little bit of? Josh Allen? Maybe? Could Brian Daboll find his next Allen here? Bring Drake May in. Let him sit a year or maybe at least part of a year. Let Daniel Jones try and prove that he deserves to remain the quarterback of that team. And if it doesn't go that way, because I don't think the Giants are sold that that is their future, I think Brian Daboll and Drake May might be a very nice combination going forward. So those are 5 moves I would like to see going forward. Louis Riddick, as my general manager, you're the general manager of this team, that's for damn sure.
Okay.
Let's start at number 1. What do you think?
You know, look, I like Drake May. I like it, and I see the natural comparison in terms of body type and kind of the way he plays the game. Look, Daniel Jones, look, he's coming off of an ACL, and it's kind of cap prohibitive for them to kind of move him right now. I think they're stuck with Daniel Jones. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything at quarterback. I think they've kind of made their bed with him, so I think they're kind of stuck. But I understand why you're saying this. This is the one that's most intriguing. For the Raiders to trade up to try and take a quarterback, you know the quarterback they need to trade up and try and get? Is Jaden Daniels. You know why? Guess who was at Arizona State when Jaden Daniels was a freshman? Antonio Pierce. Okay? There's a natural connection there. And look, the Raiders want to be a deep ball type of play action type team that wants to put the ball down the field. Have you watched Jaden Daniels throw the deep ball? Did you watch him throwing the football to Malik Neighbors this year? This kid is a Raider through and through. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. That one makes sense. I just don't know if they can get all the way up there because Washington needs somebody too. All right? Fields to the Steelers. Perfect sense. Mike Tomlin really wants to attack you on the edges. Of course, they are a downhill football team. Mike wants to attack the C, D, E gaps outside. RPOs with Justin Fields and his ability to run and throw, and with the running backs that they have. Are you kidding me?
And you like the connection with the new offensive coordinator.
There's no question. Look, Arthur Smith, think of what Arthur Smith did for Ryan Tannehill when Ryan Tannehill took over in Tennessee after Marcus Mariota was sat down. The play-action passing game, the run emphasis, the deep shot passing game, it fits Justin Fields perfectly. It's what Chicago should have been doing with him all along, and they didn't. He would be a perfect fit there. He'd be a perfect fit in Atlanta, too, with Zach Robinson and Raheem Morris down there running that. TJ Yates, the quarterback coach. He fits perfectly those two places. Diggs to the Cowboys, this is interesting to me only because I just don't know if Dallas is big enough for him, CD, Micah, and all these guys. And plus, remember now, CD's going to get a contract next year, a huge one. Micah's going to get a contract next year, a huge one. Dak has to redo his deal. They're also about $14 million over the cap. Diggs ain't going down there for cheap now.
Exactly.
He's like, look, I ain't giving you no discount. I ain't even from there. I ain't giving you no hometown discount. Adams to the Jets.
Hold off on that one because we're going to talk about that one a little bit later. We're going to dive into Devontae.
See, I'm just on a roll, man.
Let's stay, and I love it. Let's stay with the quarterbacks, though. Here's what I think. And again, with regards to Daniel Jones, I think the Giants are married to him for one more year and one more year only. So you bring in Drake May, if indeed that's who's there at 3, and I believe he will be, and you let him be the heir apparent, and you see where that thing goes. The writing is on the wall with Daniel Jones. Brian Daboll can start, constructing his new Frankenstein's monster, whatever it is that you want to, however you want to describe that. And I believe they could finally address in a long-term way their quarterback question in New York. What do you think?
I just don't know if they can get ahead of Washington.
They don't have to get ahead of Washington. They go up to get to New England's spot at 3.
Can I just ask a question? Who is going to be New England's quarterback?
Who is one of our top draft guys and whose opinion I respect, tweeted that he does not believe that the Patriots should draft a quarterback at 3
Why?
because they're not ready to support one. They're going to bring someone into a bad situation.
Why would you do that to Mayo? Why would you do that to Mayo?
To
Hey, you know what?
Mayo?
Why would you give Mayo mac and cheese when we know that ship is sailed? They got to figure something out there. And if he got an opportunity to get a franchise quarterback, you sit him if you have to.
It's always the right time to draft a franchise quarterback if you believe it. Okay.
When does New England expect to be back up there again?
Well, exactly, and you can't just assume that down the road that this is going to be another guy. Like we'll just build everything else and then we'll just go out and pick a quarterback. It doesn't happen like that. They don't grow on trees. Look, last year when CJ went to Houston, did we think Houston was uniquely set up to support CJ Stroud?
We did not.
It was absolutely not. You did not at all. You were like, okay, let's see. He's going to have Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Devin Singletary, offensive line got beat. No, they were like, yeah, take him because he's a franchise quarterback. Yeah. Carolina the same way. That's why they took Bryce. You have to draft a quarterback if you're New England. If you believe that Mac is broken, so to speak, and that he's just not the guy, then you have to. If you tell me if Drake May is sitting there or if Jaden Daniels was sitting there, or who knows, maybe if even J.J. McCarthy's sitting there, you're just going to go, you know what, we'll take a guard. No, that's not what you're going to do. You have to take him if you're convicted.
Could you, in theory, trade back a few spots and take J.J. McCarthy? You sat here on this set and told me there are evaluators out there who like J.J. McCarthy as much as they like Drake May.
There are people who have J.J. McCarthy ahead of Drake May.
So if you're New England, could you consider moving
of
back
course.
a little and still taking a quarterback?
If you start assessing the market and believe whether or not you can get him at better value and you can slide down and still get your guy, of course.
Or you don't like it?
New England has done that too much in their history under Bill.
As far as what?
They move back and continue to get value and get all these picks, and those picks turned out to be nothing burgers.
No, I got you. But you know what? Because that happened to Bill doesn't mean that should dictate what you're doing now.
But if you're saying that Drake May or Jaden Daniels are lotto studs, then you go get that guy for your young rookie.
I got you.
You got to go out there and make that.
Let me get Kmart into the conversation. What do you make of all? We've got the Giants piece of this. We've got what Matt said about the Patriots. What is your take on all of this?
Love Matthew Miller. Love my guy. No, they should not overlook the quarterback position. So when you said, the Giants should just go up to where the Patriots are, my first thought was, why would New England, who has an issue at quarterback, say, sure, New York, here, you take this quarterback.
We're right with Bill.
I think if you believe in a guy, I'm all for the Jets drafting Mark Sanchez because Rex was like, that's my guy. I want it. You don't know how it's going to pan out, but it's the conviction. So if the Patriots see quarterbacks that they want, if they want J.J. McCarthy and they can wait till later, sure.
You know what else?
But there's just no.
You know what else, Greeny?
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
look, it's not a guarantee that you're going to be able to build this rock solid foundation before you bring in a quarterback anyway. You're just as likely to miss on a guard, a safety, a running back, a wide receiver as you are the quarterback. So if you're convicted on the quarterback, but you think your roster is still weak, you got to take him.
Is not the other side of that the roster is so weak, the cupboard is so bare that the way to begin building it up again is to accumulate as many picks as you can.
This sounds like Chicago to me with Justin Fields, and the cupboard's bare. And what did they do? They went and got the quarterback. But now we're looking at the situation.
But that's the opposite. I mean, and look how badly that worked out.
This is where
to come.
If you could move down.
Yeah.
And you thought, I'm just saying, hypothetically, you think J.J. McCarthy is a 2-contract, 10-year, 12-year player. And you feel like, look, I can move out of there. I can accumulate some picks. I can address some of these holes, and I can still get my franchise quarterback. Then, of course, you entertain doing that. Of course, you start thinking, all right, I don't care if we've done that in the past and we've messed. You have to go ahead and adopt that strategy. There's no question about it.
Or the alternative is you trade out of it completely. You start accumulating you start building up a new roster, and you get a veteran quarterback this year, one of those who isn't super, like Russell Wilson's going to cost next to nothing, to a point you made earlier, or whoever it is you like, and you spend a year genuinely trying to build the thing instead of bringing in a young kid who's going to get his brains beat in,
you can
and
do
you
both
never get
then,
anywhere.
But you can do both. You can bring in a veteran quarterback and still draft the young quarterback and build the roster around him and let him learn, let the game settle and slow down. That used to be how we used to do it. When you think about Carson Palmer sitting behind John Kitna.
Yes, correct.
You know?
No.
That's how you used to
And Aaron
build it.
Rodgers and Jordan Love and plenty of other people, and that's what I was suggesting.
I just do not agree with thinking that, you know what, we'll take our swing at it somewhere down the road and hope another guy
Kick the
comes
can
along.
down the road.
You know what the
Especially
best
if you believe in someone.
And you're that high already. You don't expect to be that bad again.
the best things on your list? Devontae to the Jets. Love that for you.
Yes.
But really, Justin Fields to the Steelers.
Diggs to Cowboys. You've been hanging around Tannenbaum too
Just
long.
watch this pick, though. This team.
The Raiders.
Look,
The Raiders.
matches,
I hope it works out.
relationships. Just check out Jaden Daniels. Look, Hembo was sending me stuff about Jaden Daniels, what he has said about Antonio Pierce, how he likes him, the relationship that they have. That one works.
Will they make a big
That
swing?
works.
They
I
would
would
have
try
to move. It's a big move to get from where they are to get all the way up.
And if they do that, why would they do that?